Time is now 6 o'clock. This time we will call this meeting to order. This being the May meeting with the Dawson County Planning Commission. We'd like to begin with the invocation from Tim Bennett, if you would, please, Tim.
Let's bow our heads. Most kind of gracious Heavenly Father, we thank you once again for this day, Lord, and thank you for this wonderful weather you've given us this week. I just pray, Lord, for this meeting, everything that's said and done would glorify your name, and Lord, also the citizens of this county. We thank you for this opportunity, Father, and we just pray that you just guide us in this meeting in Jesus' name. Amen.
As you would, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. You may be seated. This time we will have our roll call when you're ready, Ms. Harmony.
Okay.
And let the record show that the entire board is present tonight. Certainly welcome Mr. Steve Sandy to the board. Certainly
Thank you.
appreciate you being here. This time, the announcements, we will have a planning commission meeting June the 15th, same location, same time. Gentlemen, I assume you've had opportunity to look over the minutes. Is there any amendments that need to be made? If not, is there a motion to accept the minutes as prepared by staff?
How much does that? Second.
Moving a second, all in favor? Motion is carried 5-0. The agenda that's presented to you tonight, assume you've had opportunity to look over it. Is there any changes? If not, is there a motion to approve the agenda?
Motion to approve the agenda stated.
No, second.
Move for second, all in favor? And motion is carried. If you're here tonight to speak either in favor or in opposition of any application and you have contributed more than $250 to any local official campaign, then there's a form that needs to be filled out that you will need to fill out. Harmony has it up here at the desk. Under old business, we'll begin tonight with the presentation of ZA 21-07. Jim King is requesting to rezone 14.3 acres of tax map parcel 114-033-005 from RA to CHB for the purpose of building a retail office warehouse space. Is someone here to speak for Mr. King? If you would, please come forward, write your name and address on the piece of paper that's there on the podium.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Jim King, 416 Overlook Circle, Dawsonville, Georgia. I'm here to speak on behalf of the owner of this property. There's one that we need. Harmony, is this the? There's one of the applications we need to request withdrawal of tonight because it's the original one that we submitted. And it was I guess at the last meeting, we failed to ask you to withdraw it. So we need to withdraw the first one so that we can answer the second one.
So you need to withdraw the 14.3 acres so that we can look at the 23.1 acres. Is that correct?
It's, yeah, I believe that's the one.
There's 3 on here. You have a total of 3 on here. 2 are going to CHB. 1 is going to,
It's the earliest one. If that's, there's an 07, 08, and what's the other one?
2107 would be the first.
Okay, that's the one.
So you're officially requesting us to withdraw the first one, 21-07.
That's correct. Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. King.
Apologize for the confusion.
Quite all right. Anyone to speak in favor of the withdrawal of this application? Seeing none, is anyone speaking in opposition to the withdrawal of this application? Seeing none, at this time we'll close the board for discussion. Gentlemen, do you have any problem withdrawing this application? If not, is there a motion to withdraw application 21-07?
Motion to withdraw the application 21-07.
Second. Moving second, all in favor? Motion carried 5-0. Give a presentation of ZA 21-08. Jim King is requesting to rezone 30.4. Oh, the motion is carried. The 21-07 is withdrawn. All right. Now we'll look at 21-08. Jim King requesting to rezone 30.48 acres of tax map parcel 114-033-005 from RA to RMF for the purpose of developing a 145 semi-attached residential neighborhood. Mr. King, if you would, please come forward and give us a presentation of ZA 2108, the 30.48 acres.
If I may, Chairman,
Yes.
this might be a good time to just defer the presentation to coincide with the last presentation tonight, ZA 21-11, because these rezonings are neighboring each other and might have some impact on each other. I would recommend that.
You have any problem with that, Mr. King?
I do not.
Step back. Gentlemen, do you have a problem with changing the agenda to put ZA 2108 along with ZA 2111? If not, is there a motion to change the agenda?
Motion to change the agenda.
Second. Moving second, all in favor? Motion is carried 5-0. Mr. King, he will be heard at the end of the applications for variances and the other application for rezoning. So this time we'll begin with new business, application for variance VR 21-06. Bruce Stevens is requesting to vary from the Dawson County Land Use Resolution Article 3, Section 309C3, front setback reduction from 40 feet to 17 feet for the purpose of constructing an accessory structure, tax map parcel L06065 Toto Drive. Is someone here to speak for Ruth Stevens?
Yes, my name is Ron Ash. I'm her son.
Did you write your name on the piece of paper?
I did. Mhm.
Thank you very
Up on
much.
my
I will
address
read.
here.
Okay, if you would give us a brief reason why you need a variance on this piece of property.
Well, it's a lake property, and where the road is, it's about 200 feet all the way down to the lake. So this is the only really logical, I'd love to put this garage down closer to the house, but it's just so steep. It would cost so much to dig out all kinds of land and build a 50-foot wall, because it's actually fairly level up here at the top by the road. And so we just have to do a little bit of fill on the right side. And, you know, the 17 feet, it's actually going to be on an angle, and the road actually goes this way. So the corner is going to be 17, and as it goes, it's going to get farther and farther away from the road. So it's just, you know, the most logical place. And we want something for place to put a boat in. You know, we have pirates on Lake Lanier. I'm sure you know that. And also with the crazy weather, these metal buildings now, they're rated for 140, 150 mile an hour. So it's a place to protect a few things, and, you know, that's just, and just a little use of the land there. That's about the only.
So if you would please describe to me the exterior of the garage that you're building.
It's going to be a metal garage, 11-foot sides, metal roof, and 2 10-by-10 garage doors.
Locking garage doors?
Yeah. Yeah, I'll make it real secure.
Any other questions to the applicant? Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Is there anyone here to speak in favor of the application? Seeing none, is there anyone speaking opposition to the application? Seeing none, at this time we'll close the board for discussion. Gentlemen, is there any discussion on a variance from 40 feet to 70 feet to accommodate the topo for Toto Drive? Is there a motion?
Motion to approve it.
Second.
Moving second to approve. All in favor? Motion is carried 4-0. Presentation of VR 21-07, Jerry Sutton, OBO Development and Construction Services Incorporated, is requesting the variance vary from the Dawson County Land Use Resolution Article 4, Section 400A front setback reduction from 100 feet to 65 feet for purpose of construction of patio, tax map parcel 114-004-004, Highway 400 South. If you would, please come forward. Write your name and address on a piece of paper that's there on the podium. If you would, please state your name for the record
Jerry Sutton.
and a brief reason for your variance request tonight.
Well, we'd like to turn the Ruby Tuesdays into a Wild Wing Cafe. And the only way to do that with the corporate requirements is to add a patio out front. And the setback on it is a little odd. It hits the one front corner and then goes at a 45-degree angle out across the front. So on one side of the building, it's 0 setback. And the other side, I think it's probably around 50 feet the way it angles by. So the patio we're adding is about roughly 30 feet. I said we requested 35 feet, but we had to make some changes to the parking structure and pull it back just a little bit. So the patio will be about 1,200 square feet roughly. It'll be covered patio, garage doors. It will not be conditioned. It will be heated for the winter, but not air conditioned. So I forwarded Harmony a elevation of the proposed patio. And this is in keeping with the other Wild Wing cafes, and not all of them in the area, but very similar to what the patio is on the coming Wild Wing Cafe at the collection.
Just to clarify, you said your setback was going to be 0 on one side.
No, the setback it is now is on one corner of the building there's 0 setback, or I'm sorry, the setback is right at the building corner. And then it angles, goes to a pretty 45-degree angle. So on one side, the setback is about 50 feet away from the building. On the other side, it's 0 from the building.
But for clarification purposes, you're allowed a 100-foot setback as it is, and you're asking for a 65-foot setback. Is that correct?
Just on one side. So it's at an angle. So yes, sir.
Okay. So you have the questions to the applicant? Thank you, sir.
Sure.
Is there anyone here to speak in favor of the application? Seeing none, is there anyone here to speak in opposition to the application? Seeing none, this time we'll close the board for discussion. Gentlemen, Ruby Tuesdays into a Wild Wing Cafe. Needs a patio in front, but must have 35 additional feet of setback. Is there any discussion?
I think it'd be good to see something in there.
Is there a motion?
Motion. Second.
Moving second, all in favor? Motion is carried 4-0. Then we'll go to application for rezoning, presentation of ZA 21-10 Chip Green. Is requesting rezone tax map parcel 104062 and 104061 from CHB to commercial highway intensive for the purpose of open landscape supply towards 53 East and Gober Road. I hate to assume, would you be Chip Green?
I am. I'm the owner of
Okay.
Chippers. I've had business like 10 years in the county, and it's time to buy. And so this tract that I'm buying, it's actually 2 tracks. And so I bought the front track on Long 53 and then that track right there beside Gober's garage. And, just want to move down there and trying to avoid, the cost of doing a decel lane. Just because I don't have that kind of money. And then talking to Chris Gober and Brian, they've been pulling track trailers in and out for years on Gober. I wouldn't mind doing a little paving on Gober to get to my driveway. Was going to slide the driveway back probably about 60, 70 feet or 80, whatever, off of 53, in case the truck come in the middle, in the morning, he's not sitting in 53. So the old house that's there is trashed, the old brick house. So we're going to do away with that. There used to be an old store up there. So I was going to put my office and all there beside that big oak tree, because I was going to take the oak tree down, but I was like, that tree's huge. So we're gonna keep it just for shade, because where we're at, we don't have any shade and it is hot in the summertime. So,
Will you be looking to expand your business larger than what it is now?
well, like right there where I'm at Mark's, it's like acre and a half and I'm tight.
That's what I was noticing.
Yeah.
So,
So
and your property here is what size?
almost 3, like 2.8.
Oh, I'm looking at one parcel is 1.97. But you had two parcels, correct?
Yes, sir. And I had, Ben Trail was out today to do the survey to combine them as one track.
Okay. But you are looking at putting your interest on Gober?
Well, there's
Or on
a,
three.
I don't know nothing about all this stuff, but there's like a proposal for an entrance off of 53.
Okay.
On that little bit of a knoll just right above the road. You know, I can bring my big trucks in off of Gober. You know, just whatever, whatever we need to do. I'm just trying to avoid having to do the expense of a decel lane.
Have you checked into the expense of a decel rate?
Well, I've got friends that's in paving and just, we're in the way price of everything is going too, we're north of 100,000 pretty quick.
Yes, certainly. Any other questions, of the applicant? Thanks, sir.
Yes, sir.
Is there anyone here speaking in favor of the application? Seeing none, is there anyone here to speak in opposition to the application? Seeing none, at this time, we'll close the board for discussion. Any discussion? Moving chippers from the top of the hill to the bottom of the hill, commercial highway intensive. Is there a motion?
Second.
Moving second to approve. All in favor? Motion is carried 4-0. Motion is carried, but you will be heard on the June 17th, of the Board of Commissioners. You'll need to present before them. Thank you.
Sir,
Mr. Green?
I was thinking you try to look into a one-way flow, like maybe coming off over with an exit on 53. That that may save you from having to worry about a deceleration.
Okay.
Just a thought.
Thank you. ZA 21-11, Jim King is requesting to rezone 23.11 acres of tax map parcel 114-033-005, 114-018, and 114-033-001, 114-046-001 from RA and CCB to CHB for the purpose of building a retail office warehouse space. We're looking at the 23 acres going to CHB at this time, Mr. King.
Yes, sir.
If you would give us a
Mr. Chairman, members of the Planning Commission, Jim King, 416 Overlook Circle, Dawsonville, Georgia. Here tonight representing both of these cases. We're hearing them together because they do relate to each other very closely. The commercial highway business case is for the, as you can see, from the surrounding frontage on 53 and Dawson Forest Road. That is intended to be office warehouse or flex space, which would be, office with some warehouse or storage space. And possibly some retail uses also going flex along with flex space. The residential portion on the interior is single family, semi-detached in the RMF zoning. Currently, the RMF zoning was the only way that we could provide the product that they want to build here. And it would, anyway, there's 120 homes here. We have been asked by, I guess, during some of the earlier meetings to contribute towards the roundabout that's going in at this intersection. And my client would ask that he would prefer to build a decel lane, a left turn lane along the entire frontage of Dawson Forest Road in lieu of contributing to the roundabout, because he feels like if the roundabout's already about to be built, then the left turn lane would benefit the rest of his development more so than the round, or benefit the county and his development more so than the roundabout. The other thing we've been asked is about connectivity. We are willing to provide a greenway, a 10-foot wide path that goes along the edge of the detention pond over going north. It would connect into the adjacent apartments. We haven't been able to get permission from those apartments to connect through. It's like a 40 or 50 foot wide strip of their property that we have to cross to get to the next parcel. But they would not give us an easement because it's a HUD funded project, and apparently it takes an act of Congress to get through that. So we could provide it up to that. And at some point in the future, either they or I suppose the county at some point could possibly get some kind of connection through, but unfortunately we're not able to connect through there. There is a common detention pond as shown in blue on the plan. This one thing that this is a color rendering we did before we came in and applied for the latest amendment. It shows would be to the west of that detention pond. There's another parcel there between it and Walmart, which is now included. It's not reflected on the color rendering you saw. And also the out parcel there on 53, that was in a life estate. And we had to provide the planning department with sufficient evidence that it was, in fact, belonged to them now. The party is deceased and the land now belongs to them. And we've satisfied that requirement with the planning department. And so now the plan that's before you tonight includes those two parcels as well. We just did not redo the color rendering. We've reviewed the planning staff's recommended conditions. If y'all want to turn to those, there is a couple of exceptions that we take to those. For the most part, we agree with them. One is it's the third one down, says a maximum of 2 curb cuts per road frontage. Since we have added that other parcel on the other side of the creek and detention pond next to Walmart, we would like to have at least 3 curb cuts on Dawson Forest Road, because it will need its own curb cut as well. It's divided by that creek and the pond and everything. So it really needs a curb cut. On down, there's one that requires a minimum, or they're asking for a minimum 20-foot planted buffer between the commercial part and the residential part. If you'll notice the plan, and it may not be entirely clear, but on the commercial part, we've got 2 buildings that are back to back with the truck court or the service area in between the 2 buildings. So the buildings on the north side, the ones adjacent to the residential, we've actually flipped those around so they're facing the residential portion. So the fronts of those buildings will be facing the residential, and we're trying to create connectivity there, create a cohesive project instead of planting a buffer. Landscape strip, something nice that would you could plant that would look nice, but we'd prefer it be a landscape strip instead of a buffer, because instead of separating the 2, we're trying to connect the 2, and the buffer creates a wall basically. Open space suitable for a play area. I guess the next 2 conditions: open space suitable for a play area of a 1 acre, and also the amenity for the swimming pool. The market that they are trying to reach is a working class, an entry level working class product. They've established that there's a tremendous market right now for that, which would be no kids. They don't want to encourage families in here. They're trying to It's supposed to be working class singles and couples, working class. And so anyway, that's the reason where we don't have an amenities. And then the last one, regarding the parking, the additional parking requirement. Right now, and we just found this out on another RMF project that we're working on in the county that's going through engineering review. Currently, the regulations call for no wider than a 10-foot driveway on in the single family semi-detached product or of the RMF, which means a single car garage, basically. That requires you to have a single car garage. What we're looking for is a 2-car garage, and the other project we're going to have to come back in with a variance on that. So what I'd like is, instead of the additional parking, maybe a condition, it conditions it to have a 2-car garage or something, but instead of the additional parking areas. Once you have a 2-car garage and the 20-foot, a driveway that's the width of both of them, you've got the parking that you need. This condition is basically addressing where you only got a 10-foot parking space out in front of each unit. That's all I have to say. I'm open to any questions you might have.
All right, so to clarify.
Yes, sir.
The entire piece of property
Mhm.
is owned by one owner.
That's correct.
Okay.
The RMF portion is under contract by another party.
Okay.
My client and or one of my clients. The commercial part, the owner is keeping and plans to develop himself.
Okay, that was going to be the next question. If there was going to be a retained ownership of the RMF part, or if it was going to be sold off to someone else.
It is being sold off, and we understand there's a desire to have them both developed at the same time, and my clients agreed to that.
Okay. That was going to be my next question. If you were going to go ahead and develop your commercial or sell off the RMF and allow it to be built while we wait on commercial to be built around it. So.
Yeah. And there's on several occasions been a desire expressed to have them both developed at the same time.
Yes, most definitely. Okay. Any other questions, to the applicant?
Yeah, what's going to be on the out parcel west of the pond?
It's a office warehouse, suite
So that
type
all-
building.
That's all CHB.
Beg your pardon?
You run all CHB for that parcel?
Yes.
Okay.
The left turn lane suggestion that your client is describing,
Mhm.
I would say that condition should stay as far as part of the conditions that have been requested. Left turn lane would be required for a full access driveway, which you already showing a full access driveway on Dawson Forest. A left turn lane, the next driveway going toward the intersection at Dawson Forest and 53 is a right in, right out, which would not require a left turn lane. So your additional 12-foot lane does no good for the roundabout. That would have to be a part of the design of the roundabout to be determined by the design of the roundabout. I would suggest that your design, and I would also suggest that your location of curb cuts be shown on this plan as concept only.
Yes, sir.
Because your curb cuts may change based on the design of the roundabout, which we don't have a layout of what that looks like with your plan. I would suggest that your plan needs to incorporate the plan of the roundabout in order to determine where's the best location for curb cuts and your left turn lane development.
Mhm.
Okay. The other thing that you were talking about as far as the additional parking requirement. I've already seen developments like this. I've already approved and made mistakes of approving developments like this. The problem you run into is 2-car garage becomes storage. Therefore, your driveways become your only parking. And each person's going to have their own car. When they have visitors come over, you will have a fire department nightmare when you have people parking on the road. And that's just a safety issue, which I would, again, that's why you have to have on-site parking for visitors and things like that for safety issues, to be able to have an apparatus maneuver around in there without having to deal with cars. Okay. So I've seen that. I've already made those, I've already approved things like that. It ended up being a nightmare. So I would say no to doing away with your parking requirement.
Any other questions?
Yeah, are these gonna, the multifamily, are they gonna be rental or, released or sold?
Sold.
So, okay. And well, I know this is only are we combining these?
We're gonna have two different
presentation.
votes.
Okay,
but As far as the presentation.
You said how many? You said 125 on the multifamily or,
120.
okay, because it's 145 in the application.
Oops, I'm sorry. No, yeah, my bad. You're correct. Sorry.
So 145?
It is 145. Yes.
I noticed it's hard to see on this, but it looked like there was a sewer easement coming through on the north, some of those northern lots.
Yeah, that's going to have to be rerouted.
Okay, you're gonna reroute the sewer. Okay. That's all I've got.
It'll be rerouted through the streets. So we'll go between two lots getting into it, into the street, and then rerouted through the streets to the other end.
Any other questions of the applicant? Thanks, sir.
Yes, sir.
Is there anyone here to speak in favor of the applications? Seeing none, is there anyone to speak in opposition to the applications? Seeing none, at this time we'll close the board for discussion. Gentlemen, since I brought up 21-11 first, I'd like to discuss the CHB portion as far as a motion being presented. Any discussion on the CHB portion? Seeing none, is there a motion?
There's supposed to, wasn't there, yes, the conditions presented by planning recommends the following. Is that on page 3? Yes. Was there a condition in here to deal with parking? Was that a part of it?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
the third from the bottom.
Any discussion on the CHB portion? If not, is there a motion?
A motion to approve with these conditions as recommended by planning department, planning development department. Also, with the condition that curb cut location should be considered concept only, and final curb cut location will be determined by the engineering traffic study.
We need to add though the 3 curb cuts, I think, because of that out parcel.
Yeah, that should be determined as a part of the traffic study. The traffic study may determine the interparcel connectivity, and they only would be allowed the 2 curb cuts that's already been shown on the plan.
Yeah, just one of the third condition from the top was a maximum of 2.
Yeah.
So I think we need to change that one though.
Yeah, change it to
3.
3 or as determined by traffic study.
Yeah.
There's a motion on the floor. Is there a second?
Second.
Move to second, all in favor? Motion is carried 4-0. As far as the 145 semi-attached residential homes, tax map parcel 114 or Z33005. Presentation ZA 2108. Is there any discussion? Multifamily portion. Seeing none, is there a motion? There's a motion. Is there a second?
Who made the motion?
It was.
I did.
With the conditions.
conditions.
Second.
Moving second to approve. All in favor? Motion is carried 4-0, one abstention. Both of these motions are carried. Mr. King. Update by planning and development. Oh, both of these will be heard next month, as you should know.
Thank you, Mr. King.
Updates by planning and development. Mr. Kendall.
This Thursday, we will be putting the comprehensive plan before the Board of Commissioners for a decision to move forward with a comprehensive update leading to the need for character areas within our comprehensive plan. We also are kicking off our long-range planning committee. Are going to start meeting again starting next Wednesday. And that concludes my report for updates from planning and development. I'll entertain any questions.
Is there any update on when the study's gonna come back in regards to the zoning moratorium?
We have not. We do have a public hearing for the extension, a possible extension of the moratorium. Staff concluded all of our staff reports over to our Georgia Tech person last Friday, and hopefully we'll hear back soon.
Any other questions of staff? Seeing none, that brings us to letter L. Is there a motion to adjourn? We are adjourned.